Okay, so we started taking a look at it. We went through it a little bit fast. So I want to go through it again here and show you some other parts of it. Stylizing fonts is such a big part of style sheets. Color and fonts are, again, one of the most things that you're going to stylize within any document. So I deleted the original font family here. I want to apply it again. I just want to show you, make sure that you understand the difference. I can add a font family. And again, I can choose from one of the ones that Dreamweaver here gives to me. I can keep it really simple and just say something like Arial and a semicolon, and I can 99,000 times out of whatever that is guarantee that every computer is going to have the font Arial on it. So I shouldn't have to worry too much about it. You can see they got smaller there because I got rid of all the font attributes, but it turned it into Arial font. Best practice though is to give it a couple different fonts, like explained in the previous video. If the computer doesn't have one font, it'll default to another. So you try to pick fonts that are very similar to each other that someone may have, to go from a sans serif font, which is something like this, to a serif font, which is something like Times New Roman, where it has the little kind of curls to the ends of the fonts there. That's called the serif font. You don't really want to go back and forth between those. So you want to pick a couple of sans serif fonts. If in this case, we can maybe do Helvetica, and then usually you end it with either sans serif or serif, so it knows. Worst case, just pick any sans serif font, because that's what I'm looking for, something that kind of looks like one of those. So I can apply that. You're not going to see much here. It's probably going to stick with Arial there because I have that on my computer. But again, there are other font attributes that we can take a look at. So we've got that pretty basic Arial font there. We can also say font size, and we can adjust the font size, obviously. Let's say 24-point font. That's going to be real big here. If I come back and hit refresh, you can see how big that font got. We could also just go ahead and take that down a little bit. It's a little bit big. You've seen color. We can also do font weight. There's a couple different ways to apply font weights. You can either see it says like normal, bold, bolder, lighter. You can do in number terms here. It just depends on what the font allows for. Each font may be a little bit different. It may only have a normal or a bold version. It may not go through these numbers here. So font weight, let's go ahead and just say bold. Try to keep it simple. Now you would know if you were to use like a Google font, those Google fonts will tell you those numbers that you could apply to it if you brought those in. Again, we're not going to get into that right now, but I could save that and see my font weight and how that works. So I took the size back down, but you can see now it's a little bit thicker here. And we can also say font style, which allows me to make it italic. So if I save that, now I should have a bold, italic, Arial font. For the most part, those are all the font styles that you're going to want to apply to it. You could also add things like leading, which is in CSS, it's called line height. If you're used to doing print work, it's called leading. We could say 24 point. And what that's going to do is add extra space in between the lines of text here. So if I hit refresh, you should see that kind of doubled in space there, which is kind of nice. And you can also do little things like, oops, letter spacing, let's say 2 point. And what that's going to do is add spacing in between each of the letters here. And that looks nice sometimes for subtitles, but not regular text here. You don't use that a whole lot. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that there is no reason to add any of these in any kind of order. I can mix and match font family at the bottom, background color at the top. It's not going to put the background color on top of the font or anything like that. It's just saying anything with this sample text style applied to it, apply all these different things in here. Nothing's really going to conflict with one another in any kind of order, so just go ahead and start applying those and you won't have any issues.